So recently, Emiru was attacked at TwitchCon, and now she's come out with some harrowing allegations levied against Mizkif. And I want to be the first one to say it. This is a fork found in the kitchen. There's quite literally so much shit to talk about. But the first thing I want to say is that this tweet is facts. And it's not really my community, but it feels like the mainstream media or the internet collective.
Just look at this guy, bro. Sometimes you could just scan a nigga face scan and you could just tell he's one of those. Like, he just give off like simp vibes, like school shooter vibes. Like, I don't know. Sometimes you could just look at niggas and tell they one of those. You feel me?
Has this issue of letting degenerate white men hold power for an obnoxiously long time and even prop them up when they be cartoonishly evil. It's not normal to be accused of covering up SA. So when that happened to Mizkif, I don't know how we moved on from it. There's typically a few things that are found in the crime scene of covering up SA, and one of them is power. And what does Mizkif have? A lot of power. So when a white man with power and a well-documented history of weird behavior gets accused of SA and covering it up, why is he still allowed to exist in the space? But I'm gonna quit yapping. You already know I'm the hood Socrates. Let's start. So first things first, we gotta take a look at Emiru's allegations.
Is that for a while, he has been indirectly threatening me through my friends and people that I work with. They've informed me that he said that if I ever talked about anything he did, he would try to create a smear campaign against me in retaliation. I was told that he even approached other streamers who were close with us back when we lived together, asking them if they would join with him, and they all refused.
That's the lamest. This nigga trying to make people join with him to lie for him, basically. That's so lame, gang.
At TwitchCon, he approached one of my employees, threatening them and saying if I ever talked about him, he would destroy me. Multiple people have told me that his plan was to claim that I kill animals and that I killed my own rabbits, since I had several of my rabbits pass away over the course of 3 years while I lived with him. I'm sure he's...
So you about to use her animals dying against her? First of all, people don't care that much about animals, so that rebuttal wouldn't even really hold too much power. Like, she talking about USA'd her, you talking about animals dying. Like, how would that help you in any way, shape, or form?
Listening now, and it's probably going to come as quite a shock to him that this information made its way back to me and that I've known for months. But if you try to threaten me to stay quiet, especially using my poor dead animals, I'm not going to stay quiet.
I think the most important aspect of this clip is that it highlights just how sociopathic, or I'll just say crazy, because I'm not a licensed professional, but for someone to threaten a smear campaign says a lot about who they are as a person, and attempting to use the internet's vitriol towards animal mistreatment is just so manipulative. But what I think is also important is that this clip is almost like a trap, because Emmy is being very blunt about Mizkif's method of addressing the drama, and as you'll see later, that dumbass literally does exactly what she says. You just have to ask yourself the type of person Mizkif is, and it's not like he has a good PR. Almost all stories I hear about him are negative, so hearing that he's willing to run a smear campaign against an alleged victim is pretty sickening. And that does make me ask the question, how did we get to this point of streaming? An uncomfortable truth that's been hard for me to swallow recently is that social media is something I've looked at with such fond eyes for so long, but it's evolved into a mirror of the music industry, and that's a place where corruption and abuse are...
I ain't gonna lie, I was saying this not too long ago. I'm like, bro, I don't know what's going on with the streaming industry, but it's like it's slowly taking a downhill into like that music industry vibe. Like, I don't know why. I don't know if it's because a lot of music artists starting to come in the streaming world or whatever, so it's like all that negative energy starting to float. Bro, streaming was not this bad at one point. Like, it was like, of course stuff always went on, but like the level is at now, like with the SA allegations and all these weirdos that's coming in the streaming world, like y'all messing it up. But I knew eventually this was gonna happen because of how big streaming is, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how weird stuff is now.
But I'll speak more on that in a different video.
So yeah, we were just talking and I was crying a lot. He started to try to comfort me by hugging me while I was sitting on the couch and holding me really close to him. And when this was happening, we hadn't talked in quite a while, and I'm usually very uncomfortable with being touched a lot by people that I'm not in a relationship with. But I let him hold me while I was crying. And he started kissing me in my face, and I let him do it. I was still sobbing a lot. And then suddenly he tried to climb on top of me and aggressively shoved his hand down my pants. And I screamed. Yeah. And when I screamed, he jumped off me like a cat, like. And instead of apologizing or checking if I was okay, he said, "I feel weird now. I feel like I did something wrong. I have to go." And he immediately left my house while I was still crying.
Ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way, bro. Y'all niggas are weirdos. Weird. My guy, you around this girl in her most vulnerable state. Mind you, she really probably forced herself to even be in your presence, you know what I'm saying? And you felt the need to just go with that move in that moment. Mind you, you already on thin ice with the girl. You gonna put your hands in her pants cause she allowed a kiss game? This, bro, some dudes just don't pick up on signs, bro.
Checking if I was okay or anything. And at the time, I was still making excuses for him, and I was still afraid of causing trouble for other streamers around us, or like.
But this shit is insane. So basically, Mizkif attempts to use an emotional low point as an end to sleep with Emmy. And when she rejects him, he bounces and doesn't even say sorry. Mind you, in the clip,
That's
Emmy
crazy.
says they were not together, and she says she's not comfortable allowing people she's not with to touch her. So this guy, as an ex-boyfriend / someone who's not even her partner, just violates her boundaries and does this during a moment of sadness and vulnerability. I'm just letting y'all know this is the weird guy playbook. They catch you when you're vulnerable, and that's what makes it hella sick. Mizkif seen a vulnerable Emiru and then made his move. Thankfully, he just bounced, but it's just weird for show.
I also had a couple other streamers report to me that he would obsessively watch my stream and not in a like, oh, I wonder what Emmy's doing right now way, or like having my stream open. Like, he would be obsessively and attentively hate watching my stream. Watching my stream and just saying horrible things almost every time that I've been live this year.
Wow.
And they tell me that he would want to discuss how he believed I still wanted him. Interesting, considering I never replied. And he would ask other guys if they thought I had slept with anyone this year. They'd be like, I don't fucking know, man. And then they told me he would say stuff like, no, there's no way she's done that. She's not like that. And she's probably waiting for me.
It just seems like this guy.
This nigga delusional as hell. You know what I'm saying? He's too delusional. Bro, why are you hate watching her though? Like, what is the point? Grown ass man hate watching his ex.
An abnormal obsession with her, and I feel like this is a symptom of being alive during the 21st century. Because what do you mean crazy white dudes are hate watching streams of their ex and coping about whether or not these same ex-girlfriends are sleeping with new men? It's definitely odd to me, because number one, he was blowing up her phone. She was showing so many messages. This guy was definitely tripping. But it's not even just that. I was seeing clips of him having real life insecurities over his view count. I think a lot of what transpired was most likely him projecting his own lack of self-worth. He probably linked his self-worth with his performance on social media and Twitch specifically. And in his mind, Emiru threatened that, so he started lashing out like this. Or at least that's my guess. And this video isn't even over, so we still got more to comb through.
My walls, again, you can go see this in some of his VODs in his bedroom. The holes in the wall. There would be times where he was upset at me, and I would go to my stream room and literally lock myself in to get away from him, and he would be banging on the door and screaming at me. At the time, he also would more often do things like going, like if we were driving in the car together, he would be going like 150 miles an hour, and like one time he even said like, well, now we're both gonna die.
Whoa, Oh no, he's definitely one of those. He's definitely one of those. Ain't no way. Told y'all he give off school shooter vibes. I told y'all.
Like threatening to kill both of us. And this wasn't like even necessarily because of me or like because of something I did a lot of the time. Like one of the times that it happened, it was because we were just getting food and he was on his phone and he saw that Mr. Beast had put out a video and Mr. Beast had invited another streamer and he was like, oh, Mr. Beast invited this guy to his video, not me. And I was like, oh, well, you know, like, huh, yeah, I guess so. Which led to him going 150 miles per hour in the car and talking about while doing it.
Yeah, so this nigga is clearly mentally...
So you mad because Mr. B selected another content creator to be a part of his vid. So you about to unalive yourself because of another... Mind you, this nigga is what, 30? I did a little research on him. Nigga 30 years old, bro. Why do you care so much about views, my guy? Like, why are you so infatuated and obsessed? My guy, you established. You got your fan base. You know how many people wish they was in your predicament, my guy? And you mad at other streamers for elevating and, you know what I'm saying? Like, I hope Mr. Beast don't even mess with that dude no more, because he's a weirdo for real. Like, he's a weirdo. I ain't gonna cap. Ain't no way, bro.
Like I said, I definitely feel like his worth is linked with his performance on social media and how he's viewed in the social hierarchy. And not to mention, he be punching walls and being violent. And then he threatened to take himself out with Emiru. This is the final form of money don't unlame a nigga. Like, this is psychotic behavior. He's over here tripping about not being in a Mr. Beast video. That just sounds like something Mizkif would do. Rich white streamer from the pod community, that's basically the combination of doom.
He would throw bottles, like plastic bottles with liquid in it, not like glass bottles, at me, despite me telling him like I didn't like it and it scared me and I bruised very easily. He would throw his phone at me. I would tell him, you know, it scared me, I don't like it. And one time it even hit me in the eye, which caused me to get a black eye, but he always, you know, was like, oh, it's an accident. And I was like, oh, yeah.
The thing with this black eye clip is that there's actually a thread from 2023 on Twitter that was analyzing the relationship between Emmy and Mizkif. And they even mentioned the black eye and was attempting to figure out how exactly she got it. And I'm pretty sure Emmy had gave an excuse like, I ran into a wall, which is obviously like not good. So people dug a little further. What's interesting is that they even posted a clip showcasing how rough Mizkif tended to be with Emiru. And that's just some food for thought. But I wanted to end the Emmy section with this clip.
And I also wanted to say that I would not be surprised if he tries to sue me for the stream that I did today and for coming out about him. Not because he thinks that he would win, but for PR reasons, like a slap lawsuit.
Bro, that's the thing that they be failing to realize too. What's done in the dark gonna eventually come to the light. So even if you try to sue her, it's gonna backfire on you because of all the proof that she got of how much of a weirdo you are, my guy. Like, you literally sending her paragraphs and essays trying to basically you basically being a narcissist, you know what I'm saying? You're not gonna stand on what you really was saying throughout all the messages. You just gonna treat her the same way you've been treating her, you know what I'm saying? Obviously, you broken spiritually and you just, you know what I'm saying? You need some healing, gang. You know what I'm saying? I'm praying for you, but you need some healing, bro. You know what I'm saying? And stop worrying about money and views, bro. Stop worshiping that stuff. It don't matter, my guy. You know what I'm saying? You putting yourself in a way worse predicament, gang.
It'd be interesting if that happened, and I wouldn't be opposed to people finding out more of the truth and things that I didn't even talk about today, and what else he's been lying about. And I'm sure there's also plenty of things that even I don't know about. And, yeah, there's more things that I didn't even talk about today, but I'm hoping that now that I have this out, this is the last time I ever have to talk about it. I can be like, okay, I got it out there. I'm not withholding this anymore.
With her talking about how being sued is a real possibility, it just confirms for me that Mizkif is probably just manipulative and a controlling person. If he was truly innocent, he'd come up on the internet with some sincerity and not a curated response, not an engineered plan, but just pure, unbridled sincerity. Let's look at what he had to say.
Emiru has a lot of rabbits. It was her calling when she first moved in. These were a big part of her life. But as those rabbits moved out of her room and into the living room, they started to see disgusting neglect. No food, no water, sometimes not having clean bedding for weeks. I, along with many others who would come over, would give them what they needed, and I would tell her all the time to take care of them, but to no avail. She completely neglected those rabbits, so much that many of them just died over 1 year of being around in my house. My cleaning ladies would clean them just because they felt terrible, and my brother once came over and said, and I quote, "If you ever marry this woman, I'll never forgive you."
Besides the fact this guy is clearly reading off a...
My God. You got SA allegations and you over here talking about rabbits, gang. Rabbits, bro. Oh my, bro. Ain't no way, dog.
And even had the gall to quote his brother's opinion on Emiru. He did exactly what she said he'd do, and he responds by attempting to smear her for rabbit abuse. Also, he showed a photo of a dirty rabbit cage, but I don't want to show that, and I don't know how this refutes any of the claims Emiru made. And let me ask a question. How do you take care of animals when you're in an obviously toxic / abusive relationship? This guy is so stupid.
And I know with how my mental was and who I was back then that I didn't do everything right. I know I could have done better.
Bro, you still the same, man.
And I'm sorry. I know I was controlling and I should have just ended the fucking relationship, but I was so confused as a person. And I'm sorry I did it. I'm sorry things got to this fucking point, man.
This nigga crying. 30 years old crying. You're 30, my guy. What are you crying for? You put yourself in this predicament, bro. Like, this nigga crying like he the victim. Bro, you not the victim, gang. What are you crying for? Grown ass man.
The last 9 months of this relationship, things got extremely toxic.
He admits to being controlling, which when you combine that with the fact that he's also violent and prone to childish outbursts, it's like, am I supposed to take what he's saying seriously? And then this bastard starts crying crocodile tears. This nigga is tripping.
We would get food. And then we went back to her house. We cuddled for about 30 minutes and started to kiss. She said that she was okay with this on her stream, and I started to advance to the next stage because I thought that's what she wanted. She yelped, and I immediately sprung up and was scared if I did anything wrong, or did wrong in general. I got scared and left the house. I apologize if that made Emmy uncomfortable for me not saying sorry, and I wish I said sorry back then.
Did he just speed run the essay explanation? He didn't mention how Emmy was crying. He didn't mention how they wasn't together. And then he tries to say that advancing to the next stage is what Emiru wanted. This is dead ass one of the worst responses to allegations I've seen in a minute. And you know what's crazy? I got a whole additional information section I want to show you guys, but it's like, I don't have to for real. I'm gonna do it anyways, but this response is horrible.
I'm ashamed that the situations got so bad, but Emmy was also violent. She would throw clothes or plushies at me, and I punched holes in the walls or slammed doors in aggression.
Plushies, gang. She threw Bro, this nigga is a child, bro. That is like, bro, you could, like, this go to show you age don't mean nothing, bro. You could be 40 years old and still childish, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, some niggas just never evolve. Some niggas just never elevate. You know what I'm saying? Then they just let money and fame just be their whole characteristics. You know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, people are weird.
I'm gonna cut the clip here because he tries to skirt over that dumb ass shit like it wasn't dumb as hell. This nigga made the comparison between plushies and punching holes in the wall. There's nothing else that needs to be said. What is a plushie doing versus a grown man who's being sent into blind rages by having less viewers? Mizkif actually sounds insane. That sounds like some terrifying crackhead type energy you'd see on the streets, bruh. And he's trying to compare that to a shorty throwing some plushies. I didn't even have to make this video. It's clear who's evil in this situation. It's literally like seeing an ominous figure in a hood and walking towards him. Mizkif is evil.
I am gonna stand up for myself, I am going to defend myself in these situations. I am not going away.
Mizkif, you're done, bruh.
Bro,
You're talking about not going nowhere, but it's over, dude. Now, I wasn't gonna play the rest of that BS, because honestly, he starts talking about going scorched earth, basically, and how he's gonna leak messages, and how he's gonna expose everything.
Weird,
you know, the typical copium niggas like him have to inhale after they get exposed. Because I'm about to hammer the nail on the head. I'm about to show you guys that Mizkif is basically a demon in a human skin suit.
Are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail me like you did those girls to cover up those
What?
You want to come at me and mix up, then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure. I'm lost.
I don't even. Holy. Are you going to send Maya and Mitch to railroad and blackmail like, dude, all those girls cover up this.
Wait, what does it mean to
You wanna come at me and
railroad?
then you better be sure you don't live in a glass house, you insecure.
Literally just read it. What does it mean to railroad him?
Little bit of context. A few years ago, I think 2022, Mizkif was accused of covering up SA, and this is Hassan and Pokey reacting to it. I wasn't too in the loop at the time, but what I do remember is that there was compelling evidence that suggested that he did cover it up, but that's just my opinion. And with everything that's out right now, it's pretty likely he was covering up SA. He's moving shady. He's willing to use smear campaigns to intimidate his own former significant other into silence. It seems like something he'd do. Why are these
Well, it
streamers...
do make sense that he would cover that up, because in his response, he was basically saying, like, since I'm exposed, I might as well just expose everything. Like, you know what I'm saying? He got exposed, so he about to expose everything. When it came down to SA allegations that you knew about, you should have been brought that to the light. You know what I'm saying? But now that you caught up, now you trying to throw everybody else under the bus.
like Joker. They're literally just streamers. And honestly, what is Mizkif even famous for? He just fits the weird white dude archetype, just greasy and evil. I don't get it. I also want to point out, he posted a little video on Ludwig expressing his mental health and how Ludwig covering the story about his alleged SA cover-up helped destroy his reputation.
September 2022, I was accused of covering up by Trainwrecks TV. This resulted in the biggest drama that has ever happened in the history of Twitch, where dozens of the top content creators attacked me for weeks, saying that I covered up and I deserved to be banned. Ludwig was one of those content creators who made a video titled Twitch is Collapsing with over 3 million views. This video told people that I was the only one involved in this whole thing, and I orchestrated basically a cover-up. This resulted in me losing so many of my fans, torpedoed my career, destroyed my mental health to something that I don't know if ever will come back, and has ruined my life and almost everyone I know around me.
And now let me show you why this video is dumb.
And I seen a lot of, I'm gonna keep the bug right now, right? I seen a lot of people on the list that when I seen the list, I said, I'm not jacking them. I'm personally here saying, right now, bro, I don't get, niggas know I don't care, bro. Mizkif tries to censor the door, he's not getting inside. No, we do not fuck with weird people. I ain't gonna lie, bro. I'm gonna keep it a stack, bro. He's gonna see this clip. I don't care.
This is a clip of Silky before Emiru came out, and this is him standing firm on how Mizkif is not getting inside of his crib. Mind you, this is a very general statement. He never elaborates. He just says, Mizkif is weird, and this nigga's not getting in my crib.
Fact.
What does that sound like? That sounds like Diddy. Y'all just gotta let me break it down. When I say it sounds like Diddy, I mean in the sense that people will say these cryptic statements regarding certain celebrities and never elaborate. First, it was Diddy likes to party, and you gotta tell him no. Now it's, if Mizkif tries to enter the door, he's not getting inside. What do those statements mean? But these niggas never elaborate. They just say these general statements that are clearly ominous, and they move on about their day. And I just feel like if niggas are speaking about you like that, you're doing something. That something is wrong. Nobody will tell me otherwise.
Hey mods, can you do me a huge fucking favor? Can you start banning literally anybody that ever tells me that I'm being mean to her? I mean, can you give a disclaimer?
It's not being
She
mean.
did not want to say that, bro. He forced her to, bro. That's crazy, bro. That nigga weird though, bro. I ain't gonna cap.
This is a clip of an obviously irritated Mizkif telling his mods to ban people who question his treatment of Emiru like the books literally write themselves, and the secret was open. That's why there's a 2023 thread analyzing the relationship. It was in plain view.
She said no. Maya unimpressed. That's what that was.
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks I got you over the past 2 days.
Oh my god.
This man threw bags at the girl while she was on live. That lets you know everything right here. So I'm guessing this was one of his other girlfriends. Y'all girls just be dating money, bro. I promise. Y'all niggas, y'all just date anybody just because they got a bag. You know what I'm saying? Like, sometimes you could see through people, but well, really all the time you could see through people before you get in too deep with them. You feel me? Like, he obviously a weirdo. You feel me?
2 Starbucks bags of Starbucks that got you over the past 2 days.
Oh my god.
If that was
Throw it back. Throw it back.
Better be. Anyway, there's something about being trapped in a car with an angry aggro man that is like the absolute most helpless thing. Dude, I did a guy that would go like 100 miles an hour on the, like, we would fight in the car, which was never my.
It wasn't with just one girl. There's something he do is normal, you know what I'm saying?
Like, it just always like happened. Like, we just would like fight in the car, and then he'd go like 100, and I would like literally like beg him to slow down. I'd be so scared and I'd cry, and then he would not slow down, so I apologize.
Bro, he's weird, bro.
Whoa. So then I started driving only. Like, I wouldn't let him drive me anywhere. But then if we'd get in a fight while I was driving, he would like pound my ceiling in my glove box. He would like scream and like hit the ceiling and like hit the glove box and just like scream profanity.
This clip is so crazy because the first thing is that Mizkif aggressively throws 2 paper bags at his ex Maya, who then, on a later date during a podcast, recounts how she was trapped in a car with an angry ex who would drive 100 miles per hour. Where have we heard this from? And then Kyuko, another streamer, recounts her experience with Mizkif, where Mizkif and her had relations during a time where she was so drunk she couldn't keep her eyes open, and how she had to finally let him because she was too dizzy to care anymore. Oh my god. And this shit is so crazy. OTK had to come out and be like, yeah, this nigga is weird and we ain't messed with him for a while. So when I see all this stuff, it's really hard for me to believe that he didn't cover up SA. If anything, he seems pretty familiar with it. It also makes it hard for me to believe that he wasn't the villain in his relationship with Emiru. My opinion is that Mizkif is probably not human. He seems incredibly evil, actually, but I won't say much else. I think that's all I needed to say, really all I had to say. Subscribe for more unsolicited opinion.
That's crazy, man. People just be weird, bro. You know what I'm saying? Just let you know, man. Watch who you dating. Watch who you bring into your privacy. Just watch who you around, period, bro. Because people are weirdos, gang. But make sure y'all like, comment, and subscribe. Shout out to FDH, man. Full video link in the description. I'm out.